And welcome to Beyond the Pendulum. Um, Hold on, let me RT this stuff. Maybe not. Anyway, so this is episode 22. I'll RT it later. Um, if you aren't hearing this live, this show was live streamed on May 4th, 2023. There's been a few updates in the UFO Twitter community in the last week since we've been up there. Most of it has been revolving around the Kirkpatrick statements and UFO Twitter. Still analyzing and going over what was stated in those in that hearing. A lot more. You're getting the gist of what I was hearing all week. Again, was more dissatisfaction with the way this whole topic is getting covered by the department that is supposed to cover it. And there was a few people that I listened to this week that kind of spelled it out for me. And I think this is somewhere where the UFO Twitter should be. Is that we could have the best evidence in the world, and there's still and the logic and the reasoning, and I don't know if I have enough time to go into the reasoning why I might. It's just that they're going about it with these word gymnastics where you can see if there's a coconut in front of you, but do you really ever know if it's a coconut? That they're going around with these word gymnastics where they're gonna spell out everything but what it is. Um, so when a little green man could hop out of one of these things, and we'll still never really know. You know what I mean? They're gonna say stuff like that. Well, he could have just been a kid, or it could have been a this, it could have been a that, and it that you could have the best proof in the world, and it's still not going to be enough for these departments. And I'm starting to get that kind of stuff, and it does seem like this Arrow project is designed to fail, where they didn't give Kirkpatrick the top secret clearances. He doesn't have any of this access to the stuff that he was supposed to. He's underfunded, under budgeted. So in the last 18 months or so, nothing has really gotten done. They just been putting these cases into piles and running analysis on computer. I mean, and the first of all, they're going about it two ways. They're trying to reinvent the wheel while there's like 80 years of reporting of this stuff. Um, I don't know, the elephant's in the room, but the government is gonna try and wait this one out. They're not gonna. That's what I'm thinking. They
Just keep
accidentally let the cat out of the bag, and they're trying to get it back in. They're just hoping that a century or two will go by until you bring up this thing again. I just don't think that. I just don't know. I don't think that kind of strategy is going to work for the government anymore. You know, you
maybe a
haven't.
decade. They never gotten away with a century of it, but yeah, it's like bring it up and then stall and do the same old Mickey Mouse. It's just like with all the rest of it. Endless investigations and nothing ever gets done.
Yeah, yeah, literally, yeah,
In that same pattern, like you would if it was national security or the war or anything else. It's just the way they operate.
yeah. I guess it's just kind of weird, like they. I don't know. It seems like every day, like I wake up, like I tell my friend, like am I high or is the world high? Because every time I wake up, the headlines are just gets the news is just so weird. I think if they, the tactics they were pulling, maybe a century ago, 80 years ago, that might have been fine and dandy then, but we live in a different time and age, and these people are gonna are going to want answers one way or another. You know.
Well, they're still lucky that most people aren't paying attention. There's that small 10 or 15% that seem to like figure things out. There's something else going on, but that giant herd just, I mean, it's hard to break through. Just
Oh, the majority, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The
because you have the government act the way they do, then that's all the rest of the sheep need to see to follow.
I just don't understand why humans need a government authority to tell you that this stuff is real. That's the part that I don't understand.
People they seem to need a leader, and it'd be nice if we didn't have so many misleaders. But there's a real lack of a lack of intelligence.
Well, yeah, that was that's another point right there. I always tell you that people really don't need governance. Actually, they only need policing.
Yeah, you look at all these these people complain, not complain. They claim on both the left and the right that they're smart enough to be create a self-governing body, and we can govern ourselves, right? And yet you see what happens. It's like it never turns out that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice thought, and both sides say they can do it, but it doesn't happen.
no, it doesn't.
You fall back to the usual corruption and covering everything up and
It's predictable.
criminal activity, and
It's
it just
actually,
seeps over into the UFO. It really doesn't matter what the topic is. We can talk about UFOs or anything, but it just seeps into everything they do.
yeah,
You get a curated narration of whatever it is they want you to hear, and that's it.
yeah, quite literally.
Don't question authority.
Well, I don't know. This community is a little different than the other ones. I hope. I hope the UFO community has enough cojones keep on pushing the envelope. 'Cause I don't know. I've been doing activism, for a long time. I know that if you don't make a lot of noise, nothing will happen. That's what it's going to take. Making a lot of noise.
Yeah, or somebody with bigger money to get behind it. I mean, if that's what it takes, like we have to bribe people in the government to get to the info. Well, I guess that's one way.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to release the info.
No, they're not, and that's kind of why there's independent bodies, scientific bodies, doing a lot of the same things that the Aero office is doing. Except for using um, publicly funded. How should I say it? They're using public funding to go about it. There's the um, Galileo project. They're doing the same things that the Arrow is doing, except for using like a lot of the high tech sensors and all that. But they are doing a lot of um, investigation going on. I think the public sector is probably where this is gonna have to happen. If we're gonna wait around for the government, then probably nothing will happen ever.
Maybe the aliens are getting frustrated too. They kind of make themselves known for all these years, and it's like can't really, what do you call it? Like can't get any penetration into the market. Like immediately, it's just somehow it's just like all these people can see it and all these stories, but it's, it's I think the aliens, they're probably just gonna have to break down. They're gonna have to crash a mothership like into a major, metropolitan area, like LA.
Yeah, but like I could just see the government now. Yeah, that was our secret Mir 2 space station, you know?
And everybody be like, bullshit, that thing's 10 miles wide, like, nope, it's ours.
Oh, you want to hear something weird? You want to hear something weird that I heard today? There's some conspiracy stuff. You ever hear from like the UFO community how there was like there was a moon a base on the moon, right? You've heard that for years, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the far side, I mean, you could get away with that a little easier. I mean,
Well, I saw an article that was hinting at something where like they did do a survey and they did find a large mass of something on the southern hemisphere, southern pole, some sort of metal mass, but they think it's natural, like something big metal colliding with it, but there's that wild possibility. Could be a little green man's house.
might find an obelisk or some.
Yeah, that's the. I don't know if there is something there, it'll get found soon. The Chinese rover they got on Mars died today, and it wasn't even there a year.
Oh man, well, must have been solar powered then.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Hey, honey, hey, can I call you back? All right, bye. Sorry, this is my wife.
Then you had the Japanese lander crash.
Yeah,
Not much out on that one. I can
I don't
find
know.
it
It's a
wise.
well, I don't know. It's like all these other, a lot of these other countries are trying to do what we're doing, and they're failing.
They're getting close.
The Israelis failed. Um, the Russians have failed. The Japanese have failed. The Chinese have failed. The European
Oh,
Space Agency is the one that they've had a lot of successful ones, but a lot of failures too.
yeah, we were having a lot of failures. Like if you were going, it depends on where you were going. If you
Yeah.
were going to Mars, if you were getting away from Earth, Mars, I mean, that was 50-50 even for NASA for a while. I mean, Venus is another one, I mean, shit just don't seem to last very long once it lands, maybe a couple of minutes.
Oh
Whereas
yeah, because
Mars
it's like
operations,
800 degrees Fahrenheit
yeah,
on the
that's going to be
surface,
tough.
and
Plus,
its atmosphere is thick, so they got that
it'd be
going
a
too.
big parachute. You can slow yourself down for a while and kind of drop through slow.
Yeah.
You talked about a balloon too. Just let it float around higher up.
Oh, like we just had a few months ago, to have a balloon.
Oh no, but that'd be on Venus, not Earth.
We had another one of those this week.
I gotta believe that's happening all the time. I mean, that's just an easy way to, you know, for relatively cheap, put some equipment up and just see what you pick up.
I
You get
mean,
lucky and you go over. You're gonna get with all the bases we have, you're gonna go over a bunch of them just even being lucky and
I just
random. I mean, they're
I just
everywhere.
I just don't understand why somebody would waste the money though. I mean, it's not. If you think about it, like building a balloon with all those sensors, that's not cheap. At least the one, the big one, the Chinese ones that we found, the big one.
That was big. You know,
That must have been like $250,000 at least.
I don't know. Those Chinese are pretty thrifty. They probably put that together pretty cheap, man.
Yeah, probably for a few $100.
But it might cost $1 million in America. But let's get serious. That's other than what do you see? Some of these military. What was interesting was the that video they were showing on Fox and others for a while there. This F-18 contact. If you dig into that one and that F-18 pilot that saw that thing, like in a longer interview, it really was an interesting contact. They don't make it look childish or too dismissive like on Fox and some of these places, but it's just they don't really give you the whole damn story. That's what pisses me off.
Oh yeah, that's with almost any agency, any news
Yeah, that's
agency.
another one of these military contacts. I mean, that's a good one.
Oh man, we got another thing. Yeah, another thing that got brought up on some of the podcasts was Kirkpatrick was saying that there's there's like decades of reports revolving around nuclear weapons installations and UFOs, and it's I was hearing from one of the podcasts. He's interviewed several guys over the past few years, and it was quite a regular occurrence. They would say a lot of these bases to see strange things flying around regularly on some of these bases.
Yeah, a lot of the SAC bases.
Yeah, yeah, the nuclear installations, yeah,
You know,
and especially nuclear powered navy ships get popped off a lot. Seems to be one constant theme is they're worried about us blowing each other up.
well, they just are they worried? Are they checking in on you? Why do they keep seeing them? They just spot checking you.
Well, I mean,
The planet,
if you
landing
think
on you.
about it, it's like, well, they've been visiting us, they've been watching us for a couple thousand years, and then one day some idiot drops down and a nuclear bomb. He goes, oh fuck, now we have to actually really watch them, so they're gonna kill themselves. You know?
Yeah, well, you got two choices there. I mean, do they really care, or why would they care necessarily?
Well, I mean,
I
they've
mean, it's
just
another planet to exploit. But if they're doing that, well, then they would have been doing that a
oh
long
yeah,
time ago.
exactly. They would have been doing that already.
Yeah, they're not going to wait till now.
To be honest, it's probably more of an anthropologist kind of shit going on, or archaeologist. Except we're alive.
You want to find a fossilized alien or something?
No fossilized human.
I think that'd be even more confusing. I mean, how do you?
Well, if they wanted to study their own race, and see kind of like how they developed like millions of years ago, they're like, hey, look at these idiots. They're like we were how we were millions of years ago. Look at these idiots. Still eat their own food. Well,
I just know they seem to have a curiosity with exploring outer space, but not so much like underwater or our own planet. There's some
there.
bigger studies they could do. If they if they looking off like the continental shelf and things if they wanted, but they just don't do it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors that these things are also invading our waters too. So hold on one
Yeah.
second. One second. Hello? I didn't call you back. I'm doing my show. Yes. Everybody. Bye bye. Sorry, is my wife. Are you there?
Hmm.
Sorry, that was like the when you yell at your mom and you're in the basement. I'm almost done, mom. Yeah.
The short leash.
Short leash. Yeah. God, so like I guess I was talking to my buddy today or yesterday about AI. This strike on Hollywood, uh is revolving somewhat around this AI issue. This is becoming a real issue, you know that? The artificial intelligence?
Yeah, and well, it's similar to the like the Industrial Revolution and mechanization. There was a thought that that would kill uh, hiring and labor and all that with humans because you had all this mechanization, and there's that same kind of thought going on with this AI, and I see a certain amount of it. It's like you get these uh, AIs that can put out all this computer code now. I mean, it's going to accelerate that, and then you don't need as many of them around, right? I mean, if you got a robot that can do it, well, you know, you need fewer programmers. At least that was would kind of follow the mechanization. That was the fear there, but that never really materialized at the same time. You still have all this labor that needs to get done manually with humans because of the difficulty. Now, maybe if you can get a good enough robot that can do all that, beyond the AI, then maybe you have something. But AI alone, I don't know. I see how it's going to help a lot of things and accelerate
Well,
learning and stuff.
now you don't need to know how to code to make a program.
Yeah, you just ask the right questions and
Yeah.
off it goes. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, this thing's gonna get to because like
Well,
we already have machines that can build houses, without any human involvement. Just the setup of the equipment, yeah, that's been done already. Quite a few places.
yeah, those are
I
interesting. The
Yeah, I
continuous
mean,
cement, yeah, machines that got or like 3D printing
3D
your
printing
home
your
with
house, yeah,
cement.
with bricks.
Yeah,
Um, I wouldn't say that it's going to completely eliminate human jobs, but it's going to get there. And as far as the entertainment community is concerned, just imagine if you wanted to, let's say that you had a movie that you never saw a sequel to. Well, fuck, you don't need actors. You don't need a crew. You could just tell the AI to make another movie for you.
yeah, with a different ending and
Yeah.
endless or clip them together. I mean, there's so many possibilities.
I'm
Or
not
ask
saying
them
that
to just come up with one randomly. Hey, why not?
I've
You know,
seen I've
that part of creativity is good. I think the acceleration of code, electronics. To the extent that it can. Um,
well,
but I have to
whatever.
believe there's a limit to that. There's there seems to be a limit to intelligence, but no limit to stupidity.
Well, this is going to do one or two things. It's going to either accelerate technology or it's going to hinder mankind, one or the other. It might do both at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it helps the rich guy and kills the poor guy.
Well, I mean, what if it gets to the point where, like, we have RoboCops? You won't even need police. or people. Let's get rid of people. Oh shit, that's another movie, right?
Yeah, don't give me any ideas at Lucifer Central or
Or
Lucifer HQ. You know.
yeah, no, we were. Jesus, I never like every time like everything after like COVID this year was like like did I wake up and do some drugs or something? Because like now we're dealing with like AI. We had a pandemic. We had fucking UFO disclosure. We're dealing with this is crazy how much shit happened in a small amount of time.
Yeah, it has been kind of busy. I will say, if you just watch the average Joe, though, I mean, the big thing is, making sure you can party Friday and Saturday night. I mean, that really hasn't changed.
No, that hasn't changed. But the 4 day work week has. So you can do a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, among the lower ranks, that's always a priority. Some people it doesn't seem to change. There's a basic interaction that goes on. But I got to believe that at the upper level, in these companies, they've had these AI going for a while. And if they're willing to,
Yes.
leak this, Chat GPT and kind of show you that much of it, well, hell, what the hell do they have then?
Believe it or not, and I shouldn't be saying this, but in the radio, online radio, and in some of the FM broadcasts, yeah, they've been using it in the background. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's so
Um,
many things you can automate. I mean, or
well, they use the
randomize.
same thing. Well, it's basically with the commercials in the background. So a lot of that was like programmed and time stamped, but they've got a lot of pro. It's not exactly AI, but it's something similar.
Yeah, same with these newscasters. That was out a while where they had this conglomeration, female and male newscasters that were just it was all AI and CGI. You don't have to have somebody there. I mean, if these people are just reading off teleprompters anyway,
Yeah,
what
they.
difference does it make?
Well, I gotta say this again. You know,
You just
Napster destroyed the music industry, and now music industry had their hit. All right, and they realized that the only way to make money in the music industry now is either you got to become popular and do pop music, or do something that's trendy, or you just play shows indefinitely. You know, those are the only two ways you're gonna make a lot of money. Now the same thing. Now Hollywood's gonna feel it. It's their turn.
yeah,
Yeah. Hell, they did. There was a
things, but I
song.
don't know.
There was a song out. You hear that Drake AI song that was like even his manager started like we're getting pissed off because somebody was making Drake songs with AI.
Yeah, deep fakes and all the rest of it. Yeah,
Yeah, how they gonna how who are they gonna sue a computer?
they're going to have to do something crazy to go after that one because there's too much creativity. I mean, in that they're not going to like. Anytime some group gets threatened like this, they have to try something to like trademark it and essentially say you can't do it.
Yeah,
But I don't see it working. I don't something like that's just going to leak out. Or have it. What was the other thing they used to use? Well, like these anti-copyright codes and chips that would. I don't know they were marked with it
oh
marked
yeah, with the
somehow, electronically in the taping, and
yeah that never worked.
I mean it
it
can all get defeated. It just
Yeah, if I can copy a PS2 game, or wherever, it's like you know, there's a will, there's a way.
I could see where the AI, like, especially, because the arts and what, can get kind of difficult, finding a new big genre or, music theme for a while, AI might help them come up with something new because they just seem to be rehashing just old shit over and
Well,
over.
that's like half of music, like that's why I listen to
So,
a lot of artists that are not mainstream. They know they're never gonna, you know, they don't play what other people want to hear. They play, what they want to play.
yeah, if you're in the game of looking for the next thing or something different, it's it's got to be at the fringe. Yeah, it
Yeah.
usually is. Yeah, because everybody's making money with all the rest of it. It gets old.
Yeah.
But AI now, how's that going to affect the UFO community?
Well, I've been asking myself, with the that's why, I can't trust any of these, a lot of these videos out there. A lot of them are now you can go to any of these art AI things and just make up your own evidence, until I have the actual file on me and I can see the EXIF data on the file, video, like I said, visual proof has got to be the worst proof now, you know, as far as UFOs are concerned. Hell, half the time I see UFO videos, like if there any of them are done in the last 10 years, like I just don't even look at it. A lot of them, just so much fakes, and a lot of good fakes too.
Yeah, it's just well, it's always been that way. I mean, these UFO organizations have always had, to triage all these stories in various ways over time.
Yeah,
But the ones that are good, I mean, the evidence mounts, and there's no refuting it.
oh yeah, like
The cops or the military involved. Once that happens, then I mean, you got a hell of a story there.
yeah, there's quite a few of those Trumbull County Trumbull County Police PD sighting. That was a big one. Phoenix Lights. You're the one that went over. God, few of them that went over the East Coast, huge motherships or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, there's been quite a few the Hudson Valley sightings. A lot of
Oh yeah, that
those.
was super strange. Yeah, yeah. There's so many. I mean, you can go on and on.
Yeah, when
These stories that are too big. You can't have whole towns and whole communities, in on the thing. That would never work. Somebody would rat it out as a fake.
yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Canadian man uses AI to stalk Alex Jones as Tucker Carlson. Dude, fucking Alex Jones got punked by AI.
I think there was a Fed chief. I think it was Powell that got. There were some Russian pranksters that got into him too. I mean,
How do
how
you
the hell
not
would
know?
AI do it though? I mean, well, I don't.
Well, yeah, I think Alex Jones caught on real quick when Tucker Carlson was saying some sexually
Uh,
provocative stuff to Alex Jones.
okay.
He didn't think it was funny. I could just imagine it. Oh my god, that's almost as funny as when a few of those events when they didn't know that who Nick Fuentes was, like with Trump, didn't know who Nick
Oh.
Fuentes was, and then showed up at his fucking dinner.
Now, now I got to believe that's bullshit because he's been at CPAC a couple of times.
So is yeah,
I mean,
so
if
all
you're
they
in the
know who he
political
is.
game on the right, you would have to know about him. I mean, just so that
The,
and Trump's so full of shit. You never know when he's lying or telling the truth. Most of the time, he's
it's
lying.
yeah, I was gonna say if his mouth's open, there's probably some lies falling out.
There's a lie in there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, how the fuck do you not know the fucking one of the biggest not white supremacists is at your dinner? How do you not know?
Well, they push the America first. I mean, it's all in their sphere of influence, if you want to call it that. It's just,
Yeah, that America
I mean,
First stuff, like that stuff gets so jaded so quickly. They're like, no, we're just supporting America First. Americans being a what? Like yeah, the name is misleading, but I know
it's a
what they're
good,
all
it's a
about
good,
behind closed
it's a good
doors.
slogan. I mean,
Yeah,
well, and I think they're actually stealing something that used to be. It was around World War II or early 1940s, somewhere in there. There was an America First. It was like right before the war. It's like, forget fucking Europe. They're fucked up. America first. It was like, stay out of the war. I
yeah.
think that's where America first started. But they've twisted that one around pretty good.
Oh yeah, they have.
Now this new version is what does he want? You have to be Catholic or I can't figure it out, man. It's really it's like, well, what do you want? You want the fucking Pope and the Vatican to run the United States? I mean, I don't know. What is it you're after? You want a Catholic state? We already know what that looks like.
Yeah,
You're not going to be happy.
no.
When any one of these religions gets in charge of stuff, it all gets weird.
Well, yeah. In general.
Yeah, it's just theocracies have problems. But
Oh, did you
that's
hear? Did you hear some
new.
shit? Like fucking what was it? Reportedly, Epstein was managing fucking managing what was his money? Um, Bill Gates' money.
Huh.
Yeah, I saw that in an article today, 2 days ago.
Well, I mean, he was like he was given all this money by royals too. I mean, it was his job to get that island going. Basically, whatever you want to call that, that was his job. But at the same time, he had all these connections. He could get a Gates together with some European or Israeli or anybody. I mean, he had all these connections.
What I'm wondering
But
about is
Mossad
like
and all the rest.
I'm pretty sure there is some pedophilic stuff going on there. I'm almost positive with what's his name with Gates. His own wife left him a few years ago.
Yeah, that seemed to have a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, yeah. There's probably some stuff there for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you dig Epstein, there are a few people who stand by the guy. They're just like, hey, you know, shit happens, and you're a rich guy around all these girls, and they're all lying to you about their age. Essentially, you don't know who you're, screwing. So, it's like,
Like,
oh, so what's the big deal?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
There's
right.
quite a
Yeah.
few of them that have that attitude, and you're like, wow, okay, well, yeah,
A lot of those
you can show fun
girls
here and
didn't.
there, but
Yeah,
not all the time.
I was gonna say a lot of those girls didn't even look like they were above 18 at all. Uh.
Yeah, they were recruiting, So between the recruiting and the lying, and I mean, just the number of girls. I mean, what did this guy needed like a new girl almost every day. I mean, all they're doing is banging all the time, man. I mean, they just got their nymphomaniacs,
Boy,
rich nymphomaniacs. I mean, so you can purchase what you need, but
that's crazy. Eh,
should I say, hey, that's America, nothing unconstitutional going on here. Why is it my business?
thing he was busted once in 2012. That's the thing that I don't understand is how he walked away from that. The whole Florida shit.
Well, Dershowitz was his lawyer, and with Trump too. I mean, it's just dirty. The ju- the judicial system can be bought at the highest levels.
For
How
in
many
his,
times that's been proven?
I was gonna say in his case it was.
Yeah, and so it was only after X number of years that you even finally get him in jail. But and then they probably slid him out the back door on that one.
Oh, he's probably
That,
still
that
alive,
was
partying
shady.
somewhere.
Yeah, he's out of there, man.
Did he come out in a body bag or did he come out walking out the back door?
I think he slid out the back door with the maintenance crew, or
Oh, he did an El
cleaning
Chapo.
crew. Yeah.
You know that guy rode a motorcycle out of a tunnel, right? To escape.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fucking Batman.
Yeah, I don't know why they give El Chapo such a hard time. Like he says, he's like, I work for you. He's how many times have they admitted? Yeah, he worked for the DEA. Well, like a lot of the other ones do too. So it's like, whoa. But you're still going to hammer them just because.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, you worked for us, but you know what? In a den of thieves, in a sack of shit, that's just what happens, right? Just you can't trust nobody.
Yeah.
But it was good while it lasted. I mean, hey, how long was he a capo? Like 30 years or something. I mean, that's a pretty good, for being a drug kingpin. He had a pretty long run
Or like, what was it? Escobar, he built his own prison.
inside the prison.
Yeah.
I guess if you have money, it's better to get thrown in jail in a foreign country because it's easier to bribe them for what you need.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, I've had a few friends do that. Yeah, just bribe your way out of jail in foreign countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few friends do that. What else do I have here in this list? Oh yeah, Pornhub blocked the state of Utah through your IP based location. So if you're in Utah, you want to look at porn, well, you got to get a VPN now.
Yeah, man. What are those poor Mormons going to do? I mean, I bet you there was probably a lot getting watched there too.
It was actually the most
Yeah.
trending search in Google this whole week in Utah was
Well, there you
VPN.
go. So you go to church on Sunday, pray, pray to the Lord. You walk out of that door and you go watch some porn.
Yeah. Well, what else would you expect at a state that limits their beer to 3%? That's the piss. It's fucking like spiked water.
Yeah, you're suppressed. You're oppressed. You're religiously suppressed,
You can't even get
and so
drunk.
so you can barely get drunk, and then you watch porn. If you sit
You,
there and eat Cheetos and
I'll tell you what. If I drink a six pack of 3% beer, if I chugged it fast enough, I might get drunk. If I chugged it all at the same time, but
yeah, it'd have to be pretty fast. Yeah.
3% is nothing.
Well, my guess is too, if that's a beer you got, well, there's probably a lot of moonshine going on too.
Uh, Probably.
Yeah, these people are there just acting. They have to put on the act for the church, but really behind the scenes,
Yeah, it's probably all kids are all stuck on meth or heroin. They're like, I've seen that
this is
movie. I've seen that movie SLC Punk. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm gonna cut it off here. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll have some more news. If not, I'm gonna have to dig. We'll be back same time, same place next week.